Money Vikings, all right. Welcome back to the show. I got a good one for you today. I'm gonna mix things up a little bit. And first of all, happy holidays to everyone, and hope you're getting ready for a nice Merry Christmas at the end of the month and all that great stuff. Holiday season can be a little bit stressful, as we know, at times, and it can also be a sad time for a lot of people because they miss relatives or miss loved ones that they've lost over the years. So that's part of it as well. But there's the joy and the life stuff as well. So, hey, I want to shift gears a little bit. I want to do a episode here on sort of what I'd call the easy path to wealth, because I really like to boil things down into straightforward concepts. You know that Money Vikings, it's a no gimmicks kind of personal finance, sort of blog, and we have our YouTube, and I have a book coming out, and everything is about making things straightforward for you and making things straightforward for the middle class in terms of building wealth. And I know there's a lot of noise out there when it comes to wealth building and a lot of like tricks and things you can do that are really complicated. But I like to get things into sort of like, here's the straightforward way to do XYZ, in terms of building a life of true wealth. And so I'm going to take a little bit of a turn from, I've been covering the Bitcoin and all that kind of stuff, and still, 5 to 10% allocation, dollar cost averaging, etc., as part of a strategically diversified portfolio, which we've talked about quite a bit on the channel. But what I want to talk about today is, you got to break big goals down into smaller actions. That's the only way life goes. It's the whole old story about, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. And absolutely everything we do as individual humans comes down to a single step. And what we have to do is we have to focus our mind on every day, what is that next step? So, right now I'm going on a walk. I want to be in good shape. I want to be as healthy as I can be. Well, it's really just me just walking one step at a time and getting some fresh air on this sort of beautiful fall cusp of winter day, right? So with that said, here's the easy way to $1 million. So let's say you want to have $1 million net worth in 10 years in your investment account. Well, you're going to have to really, really aggressively every month be investing quite a bit. And that number comes out to about $4,800 a month. And this is assuming that you're putting a majority of that money into something like an S&P 500 index fund that's going to get you about 10% return. And using a 10% return, $4,800 a month, in 10 years, you'll be a millionaire. So that is obviously a high bar for all of us, right? For 95% of us. But I would say this, I have met some very motivated younger people that maybe have high-paying jobs, and maybe they're even living at home to save money, so they don't have high rental costs or a high mortgage cost, and they will very aggressively save this kind of money. I've heard of it. I've known a couple people that have done stuff like that. Typically these are younger people that have secured high-paying jobs, and in addition to that, they are doing something like living at home, or they're house hacking, where they are definitely sort of living with roommates, and they're keeping that monthly housing cost really manageable, because that's the key to that. If you have a high rental cost or a high mortgage, it's going to be very hard to save and invest that much money. So, but it does happen. And so, it might be a stretch goal, but at least it gives you the simple math. We got some geese or ducks or something. Let's see if we can come on over here. Where are we at? Can't even see them. All right, anyway. All right, moving on. So $4,800 a month, that's a lot. And you have to remember, it's going to be a little bit of an up and down journey, because 10% annual return is averaged out over time. There's years that the S&P 500 does 20% return. There's years where it does -4%, -5%, -10%. There's years where it does 30%. There's years where it does 10%. But the idea is that since the since I think about the 30s, if you're in the 500 index, you're getting an average annual kind of 10%. So just remember that it's not a straight, it's not always a straightforward journey. It's going to be, it's going to be up and down, but it's more of that, like, how it evens out over 10 years. Okay, second one is a little more realistic. So that's a little bit too aggressive, probably for most people. Second one is, what if you wanted to get $1 million investment account in 20 years, right? So this starts to become a little more manageable. In 20 years, if you can save about $1,700 a month, then you are well on your way to that number. Now, again, that is a lot of money. I understand that. And a lot of money for most of us middle-class wealth builders. But here's the thing. That can also, if you have a pretty good job that has like a company match, some sort of 401k match, you may be able to put, 10% of your pay in a month, 8% of your pay. But that match, if you're getting matched, maybe a lot of companies at that point will match maybe 5%, 6%. If you're getting that match, you may be getting close to that number. So that's something to keep in mind. It's kind of a way to kind of hack that a little bit. So that's over 20 years. All right. So the other one is kind of the slow and steady path, which again will pay off. It's a 30-year approach. And if you want to hit this number in 30 years, you're talking about around $750 a month. So, if you're getting 2 paychecks a month, and then you talk about the match, we're starting to get into really reasonable amounts of money that can be saved, and that can be at that point, $750. That's about what, $350, $375, whatever. Let's say $350 every 2 weeks, right? From your paycheck. In the modern world with the price of things and, and a solid middle-class salary, it's probably manageable to put away $350 per paycheck. Now, if you have lucky enough to have like a company match, maybe you only have to do $200 of it, But basically, that's going to almost guarantee that you're going to have $1 million investment account in 30 years. And with growth and compounding, maybe even more. But the point of being this, again, the journey of 1,000 miles starts with a single step. And so if you can do these small things, even if you don't hit, the $1 million mark, it really doesn't matter, because over time, what you've done over 10, 15, 20 years is you have built a passive income machine that's going to make your life a lot better, a lot easier, and you're going to have more of the resources you're going to need to do different things in life. So leave a comment. I'd really appreciate it. Please like, subscribe, share the channel. I'm trying to grow the channel, as you can see. And we've got a new book coming out. I'm really excited about that. Mid to late January. Stay tuned for True Wealth, The Money Viking Way, which will be coming out. And just more tools for you to build wealth. So thanks, folks. God bless. See you on the next one.